GStampz, back with another freestyle. Yeah. Brent, I appreciate you recording me in the studio today, dog. Once again, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm truly speaking from the heart about right now. That's what we're talking about right now. 1, 2, 3, go. Right now contains the joy that sees the pain and doesn't stay. In a place where space and time finds traces of shades of gray. It's gonna be okay. I can see in your eyes the strength. That's all the treasure and realize no need to measure the length between what means a lot to you and me beyond what we see. To be the freedom, don't stop believing in what it seems to be. Right now is all we got, plus a lot of love to give. The past and future aren't here, so only right here is where we live. My manifesto is just so you know to let go. Yet so many problems still hold on to the threshold. Yet slow times went fast in the blink of an eye, they were gone. Like fun times in a flash, like the end of the song.
What's up, world? This is Right Now with GStampz. This is our first episode. And basically, we are a talk show. Having good conversations with good people. That's basically what we'll be doing on here. All kinds of people from all walks of life, all professions, with different passions, And I think it's going to be really interesting, the people that are on here, because, they're all going to be people that I really want to talk to, and have a conversation with in real life. It's not going to be just to get clicks or just to be popular. We're just going to have good conversations with people. So I think it's something that everybody's going to really like. I want to give a big shout-out to Vigilantes Radio for giving me this opportunity and this platform. Big shout-out to Coach Dini. We're going to be doing some big things, and like I say, right now with GStampz, this is where you're at right now, and I hope you really enjoy this. My first guest on my first episode is a guy that I know very well. I've seen him come up in the game, in the rap game, matter of fact. And this may be like the only music interview I do for a while, but I chose him for a specific reason, because I wanted to cover a lot, in this one interview. And I felt like he was the perfect person, because, number one, like I say, I've known him for a long time. I worked with a lot of people in his family who were equally as talented at doing rap. And, we did a lot of big things back in the day, well, not that long ago, but back in the day, we had a label and we would drop some real nice stuff in my city, Jackson, Mississippi. And we were doing great things with promotions and we learned a lot, and it was just a great time, and we didn't get to a nationwide spotlight, these are real hard jobs to get, but at the same time, we did a lot, we did a whole lot, and we didn't have too many people to show us necessarily which direction to go, so it was trial and error, but it was, like I say, a lot of fun, and we accomplished a lot, and the guys I worked with, this, like any artist, they were just getting started then professionally, and they're still going with some great stuff in the city. Capital Q, Corner Boy, G Wiz, these are guys that I think it's safe to say that Vegas came up under and grew up, listening to. One of them's his brother, one's his cousin, and like I said, I work real close to them. So number one, this is really a good opportunity to just kind of reflect on some of the things that I've done personally in music and stuff, because it is a good memory, And number two, I thought he could give me a lot of good perspective on what it's like to be on the come up and on the rise as an artist today, because he's really getting a buzz out there. He's got a good fan base, and, he can give, some insight to artists that's coming up as well about just his experiences, and also he can, just share what he's been doing, and it'll be interesting to people who don't necessarily know about the rap game, And then I also wanted to touch on a little bit with him, what's been going on in our city, Jackson, Mississippi, as far as the hip-hop scene, because I love what I'm seeing. I literally love everybody that's out there, you know what I'm saying? I move kind of in silence. You know, I don't really be like, oh, I did this, I did that back in the day, or I did this, because, you know, it just is what it is. They're doing their thing. You know, I'm not saying I was big or small. I just was doing things. And, you know, I don't necessarily hit them up and be like, oh, I did this, I did that. But I just watch from afar, and I'm loving what I see, because I've been off the scene for so long. And just to see, you know, the nowadays, just the variety of music that's out there and the professionalism of the sound and everything else is just beautiful to me, you know. And I thought that would be good to touch on a little bit as well. And, you know, it's a good time. You know, if I wanted to talk about music, I wanted to talk to it with somebody who I felt could cover a lot of bases. And also I just been wanting to really holler at him because I've been watching him from afar. And Vegas is really killing the game, and it's amazing and great to see somebody that I've seen, you know, basically starting out from a young person, you know, really to get some recognition. So I want to welcome DONO Vegas, DONO Vegas. You know, I know a lot of people call him both, but I want to welcome him to Right Now with GStampz.
What's up, bro?
What's up, family, man? I appreciate you, bro, taking the time out, man. I ain't going to keep you too long, but like I was
got time, bro. I got time, man. You helping me, you know, using your platform to bring some awareness to me and my music, man. So you know I'm rocking with it, bro.
No doubt, man. Like I was saying in my intro, man, I talk a lot, man, so I say it a lot. But the thing is, like I say, man, for me, a lot of what I do now is just purpose driven, man. And you know, like I know you quote unquote hot, you know what I'm saying? Your name ring bells in my city and Jackson, Mississippi, and a lot of other places. But honestly, man, it wasn't about that, bro. Like I say, you intersect a lot of things that I really want to talk about, and I think a lot of people can learn from, you know what I'm saying? And not just that, man, my personal history, you know, being tied to, you know, your family as well, like, you know, like come from a DNA of artists with respect for the game, you know what I'm saying? And I think and then you know me, man, you know what we were doing and everything, man.
Oh yeah, man.
I think,
I was doing.
Yeah, man. So I think that's really dope, man. I just been watching, you know, like everybody else from afar, man. You know, and I talked to Q, you know, about you and everything, but I see your name rings bells, you know, people I don't even know. You know, I see you come up in all kind of conversations. And first question I want to ask you, man, how does that feel personally, man, when you have music that actually impacts people's life? How does that feel for you?
All right, so from an artist standpoint, I think I've been anticipating having like a lot of people listening to my music and hanging on my words and kind of, you know what I'm saying, seeing how good I am or how good I can be with it. So I would say, as an artist, I don't think we appreciate the people as much as we should. You feel me? Because we like going in the studio making these songs year after year after year after year, and we like start to feel like we deserve, like that's obligated to us or something, or like, you know what I'm saying, like the people owe us to rock with us. But in reality, man, it's so many artists out here that don't have anybody, like, they really, like, they don't really have no fan bases, and they don't really got, like, they city behind them, man. So as an artist, yeah, I feel like I don't appreciate it as much as I should, because I don't think it's possible as an artist. All artists feel like everybody's supposed to love their music. But as a fan of the game, like being a fan of people, like when they buzzes was kicking off and they movements were starting out, man, I don't know, it's hard to put in words just to think that the same thing is occurring with me that went on with Nelly when he got ready to come out of St. Louis, or T.I. when he came out of Atlanta, or, you know, different artists just in different places. Like even L.A. with Kendrick, like Kendrick was at the same place that I'm at right now at some point in his career. So from a fan perspective, when I put it in retrospect, man, it's some of the craziest. Like it's the craziest feeling you have, just like seeing real people with like real jobs, real hustles, real problems, bills, and everything that just come with life, man. The stress of life, but they take their time out of their life, or you know what I'm saying, or your music turned into a soundtrack for their life, for them living and for them working and chilling with their people and riding with their girl and riding with their kids. Like my music, like starting to turn into like a soundtrack for the people. You know what I'm saying? So from that aspect, man, I appreciate that more than the money or the fame or anything that I done kind of attained or probably gonna attain. That's why I like the most important thing to me as a fan of the game is to have like real people like listening to my music and like it impacting them, making them feel like they can do what they do. You feel?
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Let me ask you this: as an artist, I wonder about this in artists in today's age, man. Just overall, man. Like now that you kind of have a fan base, well, not kind of. I'm saying now that you have a fan base and you kind of like have certain sounds that that people kind of become accustomed to hearing from you. When you go in the studio now, man, how important is it? Like, what space are you in usually? Are you more so like, let me just express what I'm feeling, or do you sometimes feel the pressure to give people what they want to hear? I was just curious about that, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's the thought process?
I definitely feel the pressure, like, because when I run into these people in public, like, they saying that they like, bro, you need to make another song like Roll, or, bro, you need to make another song like Mississippi River, or you need to make another Valley Street or whatever, like, yeah, because that's as I understand them as fans, like, everybody got a type of music that they love more than others. So with me making so many different types of music, people gravitate to what they gravitate to, and they think that should be the Vegas sound. But I still go in the studio, like, based off of how I'm feeling and my mood. Like, and I'm big, like, I pay attention to my actual movement, my actual career as much as, like, a fan would pay attention to their favorite artist. So I'm aware of my momentum and all of that at times. So sometimes when I go in the studio and I make certain songs, like the last song I released at the record scrape that I released this year, I actually released 5 songs at the beginning of the year, like just to start the year off strong. But at the record scrape was more so about like where I felt I was at in the game in Jackson, like in the rap game or like coming into the industry. And basically, it was a move. So I think when I go in the studio, bro, I'm still on the moves. Like, even though I know the people putting pressure on me to kind of recreate the same move that they heard before and fell in love with, like, I'm still trying to push the envelope as an artist, like, and see where I can take it to. And at the same time, I'm trying to, like, establish, like, a new type of fan. So I'm making my fans, like, open up to actually listening to an artist that have different moves, that have different views. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of this stuff might even contradict itself. But Tupac is held as, like, number 1 or number 2 on everybody's list, and he was, like, the most contradictory artist of all time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I definitely like going there off my moves. I try not to let the people influence what I'm gonna say in there. Like, as far as like the people influence, I take their influence, and like the more that they like up on my music, the more they talking about it and asking for it, I let that influence me to work harder. But the actual work, I let that come from the same place it came from when they fell in love with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, man, the next thing I want to ask you about, bro, is something. I don't want to necessarily get into politics of it, but man, it's something that I've definitely seen from afar. Because man, even though I drop little things here and there, I consider myself having been away from the scene for a long time. The hip hop rap scene as far as promotion and things like that. I know you've expanded your fan base beyond just the city of Jackson, but man, I've been peeping. Like, it's interesting to me when I think back on like the local scene when I was, which it wasn't that long ago, but when I was coming up, it was like a little before social media was really booming, and then like now, you know what I'm saying? I really haven't been able to pinpoint the main difference. To me, from being like totally out of it, the big differences I see more, people are more able to be more of a community because of, social media and stuff like that. And, I've been seeing like y'all, not y'all, but I've been seeing like people do the lists and all that kind of stuff. And it's able to spread, those messages are able to spread faster. And I think it's created more of a community as well. Where it seems like to me people kind of stick together and help promote each other. And that's a beautiful thing, no doubt. But I was going to ask you, man, like, from the outside, I'm outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? But what do you think of overall of the local Jackson scene, like as it is right now?
Man, I think the Jackson scene is like, honestly, like from me seeing like other scenes like Chicago and Atlanta and like I was in New York. I was even up there in New York for a little bit of time or whatever, and kind of got a window into they little like community of artists and fans that they got underground. But to me, I think Jackson is like the forerunner for like the front runner for actually having the next run in this industry. Like, it's a lot of good artists that come from other states and stuff, but the balance of like subject matter and different type of artistry that they coming with, it ain't as much of a balance as you find right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Like, we got dope neo soul artists, we got super dope rappers, we got super dope R&B singers, we got super dope like producers, like people that's playing live instruments for real, like, you know what I mean? So honestly, in my idea, I think Jackson like got a chance to be like the next city to really make like a big like splash into this industry, like, because we got so many different type of artists. You got Stylist and Dollar Black and Dale Mack and Vitamin C and all of those type of artists, Coke Boomaye, all of those type of artists, and they like rapping on the same level as like these super big artists from New York and LA and Atlanta. Like, they subject matter super big and super wide, and it ain't all trap, it ain't all street, it ain't all struggle. Like, they really making some beautiful music. And then you got like rappers like myself and Day One Nico and Lil Lonnie and Billy Montana, Lil Ron, Ant 200. Like, you got rappers like us that's kind of embodying that 50 Cent, DMX, Jay-Z type, T.I., Gucci Mane, Jeezy type, like, like people that's out here in the streets amongst all the things that go on in Jackson, like, and like speaking to them and like rapping from their perspective. So just all around the board, man, I think Jackson's dope. We got everything that they want to see. I think we all just need to get on the same page to kind of get a little more unity with us. But I think we got a chance to be like the next big run in this rap thing. Like, kind of how Atlanta had their run, they still have it.
Yeah.
But Houston, Chicago.
Let me ask you this, bro. From your opinion, and also like what you just hear, I know I was watching some of the interview the other day with Rogus Gent and Portia as well. And let me just ask you this: when you say like stick together, what do you think? What do you think it'll take? Do you think it'll take like just that one artist to bust down the door? Well, like, I see a lot of people saying stick together. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, what could they do, like, as far as like,
To me, I feel like saying stick together is like, so if I got a fan base and my fan base move when I, you know what I'm saying, like, tell
right.
them to move.
Yeah.
Just kind of put my ego to the side and allow my fan base to service some of these other artists in the city and vice versa. See, because the city not that big, so at the point where all the artists start crossing their fan bases up, like cross-marketing each other with their own fan bases, it's going to spread like wildfire, like, because all the DONO Vegas fans can't say they ain't heard of Dollar Black because I put Dollar Black on 3 songs and we shot 2 videos and we did the vlogs and we've been taking pictures with each other. Like, that's what's sticking together.
Yeah, okay.
Like, each other's shows, and even if we not, like, featured on the songs, like, I think that we got to start doing what Dre was doing with NWA, like, so maybe Dollar Black or maybe Silas can't get on these little trap records that we all know if they don't feel like there's something that be for their lane or whatever, but maybe we got to start crossing it up. It wouldn't be bad just to have, like, super talented people sitting around in the studio with each other. And everybody knows that we working on Vegas project. So ain't nobody in here like, oh, let me go drop these chords, or, oh, my idea bigger than y'all, because we all know that we came in here because Vegas putting together an album, and he felt like all of us super talented, we all add something to it, like what Kanye West does with, like, Travis Scott, Chance the Rapper, Sci-Hi the Prince, all of those different artists be in the studio with him, and they get credit on the album. So I think that we all got to start kind of lending our talent and our fans to each other, like, you know what I mean? So if I come up with a good song that I feel like will go good for G Boogie, like, it might, you know what I'm saying, like, from the sound of the song, it's kind of in the direction that he marketed himself in, it's kind of based on type of stuff that he's known for talking about, or people know him for doing or living this type of way, and he might be able to maximize the message of the song a little bit more than me. Well, we got to put our pride and our ego to the side and pick up the phone and say, G Book, I got a song for you, you know, because that's what they doing in Atlanta. That's what they doing in Houston and Chicago. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and you know, man, it's interesting, man, because my thought of the day that I'm going to get into after this interview, man, is about ego. And it's interesting you keep saying that because I think that's a big thing. And I think a lot of times, you know, I always say, man, like I was saying in the intro, we never had the platform. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we did. We worked hard at it. We just didn't have the platform. And, you know, these are hard jobs to get, you know. And I think that the thing about it is that's a big part of it. Like you said, a lot of artists, when you really look at it, you know, in studio sessions, it's not all about saying I did this by myself. Like the best ideas are gonna get in. When you look at a lot of the more successful artists out there, the best ideas get in. Like Kanye West, he's super successful. He's known for, like, from what I understand, having like all kind of creative people around him who elevate him. You know what I'm saying? They just might come with a flow or something, you know, and just to help elevate him. And people seem to think that, like, when they hear the finished product, like, oh, these people are geniuses. But a lot of times the genius is in being able to be open enough and let your ego go and say, okay, you know, I'm gonna let this idea come in. It's not all about saying, oh, I came up with this all by myself. You know what I'm saying? I do think, you know, at some point you do want to be respected and stand on your own 2 feet for what you do. But at the same time, it's about being there. And even Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be cats that come out. Yeah, it used to be cats that come out and say, oh, we produce. Go ahead.
Go ahead, what you saying, bro?
Oh, well, all I was going to say was, like, Dr. Dre, even with the beats, it was cats that used to come out and say, you know, I did a lot of these beats, and Dr. Dre basically would say, you know, a lot of these guys did come up with the ideas, but some of the ideas, but, you know, it was about the collaboration more so than just, you know, a lot of people were feeling like, because his name is on there, produced by Dr. Dre, he's saying, okay, I'm the only person responsible for this, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times they would get their writer's credit, but it would say produced by Dr. Dre. and they would feel like, okay, well, he's saying that he's the genius behind it, but like I say, the genius sometimes is just collaboration and being open enough to let other ideas in. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. You're absolutely right. I was just basically kind of just coming behind what you said because that makes a lot of sense. And you actually put something on my mind that I had not thought about when it comes to sticking together, because sticking together, especially to make a better creative output, is a beautiful thing, you know. And that makes a lot of sense to me, bro, what you said. So,
yeah, man. Definitely, like, I'm definitely making it like one of my main points to actually be like one of the first and main artists that talk about unity the way that I do, and like and not even just talk about it, but like actually like bringing everybody together and crossing up these paths. You know what I'm saying? Like putting different artists on songs with each other that wouldn't have ever been in the studio with each other because they lanes so different. Like so, with me, I feel like it's a big thing for me to be on the no ego, no pride type of movement, because lyrically, like musically, I'm perceived as somebody who would be probably like a little cocky or whatever because I'm good at what I do. Like I'm one of the best around here at what I do. So I think it's like I think it's gonna be good for the city to see possibly the most elite talent or one of the most elite talents around here actually being like the most selfless or one of the most selfless artists in the city as well. I think that's gonna make a lot of artists check themselves. It's gonna make a lot of people look in the mirror and be like, man, am I good as Vegas? No, I'm not good as Vegas. But why am I so against collaborating and working with people and giving credit to people and playing the background sometimes if Vegas not? If Vegas this cold, you know what I mean? So I think it's just something that I gotta stay on because a lot of artists follow my lead, man. Whether it's unconsciously or consciously, you know what I mean? So with great power come great responsibility, like Spider-Man say, you know. So I'm just trying to lead the city in the direction that I feel like it needs to be led in. And sometimes, like, we hesitate on doing the things that come to our mind or, like, sit on our heart the most if it's not something that everybody else doing. And that's what I had to understand about myself. Like Dr. Dre had the vision back in those days. He had the vision of getting all these artists together and all these producers together and making all these like historical music that they made, all these big records that they made. So yeah, he got a lot of the credit, but a lot of the credit is gonna be given to the person who has the vision. You know what I mean? And you can't sit around and wait for somebody else to think of the same idea that you're thinking of or see the world the same way you see it. Maybe it's put in you to be the person with the vision to lead everybody. Like, that's the only thing that it takes to be a leader. It don't take money. It don't take, like, no big reputation. It don't take, like, people being scared of you or nothing like that. The only requirement for being a leader is vision. And I feel like I got a lot of it. So I'm, like, trying to be as humble as possible so that everybody can feel like I'm approachable because I am. And then I'm just going to try to put everybody together.
That's dope, man. That'll be so dope, man, because I'm just picturing, man, like, I went to, like, you know, like Jay-Z did a couple tours like this. I think that'll be so dope, man, like where they would have, like he would come out, do a song, then Justin Timberlake come out, do a song, then he'll come back out, then they'll do a song together. Like, I'm just picturing, like, what you said, like, that'd be dope. Like, you come out, do a song, then one of the big artists down in Jackson come out, y'all do a song together. Then they do a song, then they bring out somebody, then you come back. You know what I'm saying? A show like that would be really exciting for people and make them feel like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Because I agree with you, man. I don't think, like, one thing I noticed, man, that, man, is hip-hop has always been about competition, no doubt about it. But I don't think that it serves, this is my personal opinion, which don't mean nothing, but I feel like I don't think it serves the city that much to compete. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it's bigger things to conquer. You know what I mean? Once we kind of get, like you say, that unity, it's bigger things that, you know, to really spread how folks living in Jackson, and you know, the you know, because that's what rap all about at the end of the day, is letting people know your experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an experience. You know,
yeah,
so I
like
think that's a beautiful thing.
Bring the culture to the forefront, like, and that's what I'm really on, man. I just feel like Jackson small, man. We like super underrated, man. But it's a dope city, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a city that's about money. It's a city that's about strippers. It's a city that's about art. It's a city that's about music. It's a city that's about, you know what I'm saying, all these things that everybody around here stand for and, like, participate in, and all these different things. And it's like, with me actually staying in Chicago for some years and moving around the world over the years, I actually realized that the perception of Jackson is that we are way, like, farther behind culturally than we actually are. So I think that the artists from the city and all the visionaries from the city really have to kind of get out of their heads about having their art recognized or having their vision seen, and kind of like taking some time to just contribute to the overall vision, the overall, like, message of Jackson, and just really recognizing and understanding that, man, when you go to New York and you tell somebody you're from Jackson, Mississippi, they might ask you if you have an outhouse. You know what I mean? So,
right.
In that sense, I feel like everybody around here that got like a platform or a stage or some type of art that they do or anything like that should be working together to get the actual reality of Jackson out to the masses, because we're going to be the ones that change the way that the world sees Jackson, Mississippi. It's not going to be the people that work for the city and go to work and go home, or the teachers or the policemen or anything like that. No, it's going to be the ones making the music about Jackson. It's going to be the ones making movies and TV shows about Jackson, the ones doing radio shows like yourself from Jackson, like broadcasting all over the world. You know, it's going to be us. So I think we got to start being way more serious about the fact that we, like, competing with each other and competing for fame around here. And the rest of the world does not know the reality of our city that we from and our culture that we bring.
Right. Because, and that brings me to another question, man. Well, just a thought first, man, because I agree, man, because I think these are times anyway, man, where everybody's coming to a higher level of just, you know, doing something bigger than us, man. You got the definition of ego in as a president, you know, and a lot of people are really going through it, and you know, it's just like it's no respect there, you know, from the top, as far as, you know, what people consider the top, being the president and things like that, and just all the things going on, like, in our city and everywhere else, man. I think people really, you know, if ever people needed that Tupac spirit again and all that kind of stuff, like, people really, man, music is a tough genre to get into. People really have to. I love to ask people, like, why do you do it? And not in a judging sense. Like, if you're doing it just for money, that's cool, you know, because you can't knock nobody hustle. But, you know, removing ego aligns you with purpose a lot of times, you know, in life. And I feel like, you know, and the thing about, man, the Jackson scene, what I see is so beautiful is, man, and just in general in life these days, is artists are allowed to really be themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like my you know, the era that I kind of was like a young adult in was beautiful, and it inspired me in so many ways. But I don't think people could be themselves as much, you know. I think that, you know, it had to be an attachment to being, you know, I have things I don't have. It's still like that to a certain degree, I'm saying, but I have things I don't have, or I'm a bigger gangster than I am, or, you know, I got more birds. And it's still like that, no doubt, to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying people are, you know, you have people that can just say, this is who I am. This is what I go through on an everyday basis nowadays. And it's not so much like you got to put up a character all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think is the beautiful thing. I think, man, like, you as an artist, that's what puts you in a beautiful spot as well. And I hope a lot of people hear this, you know, because Vigilantes Radio has a big platform with their network as well. And I just want people to hear this because and check out your music because I know you. You know what I'm saying? I know, the unique perspective you can put on the game. And, a lot of these artists I'm hearing, man, so like you said, I love hearing about the unity aspect of it because I think y'all are really going to do something. But that brings me to my next question, bro. I have a few questions. Like, I'm not going to keep you too long, but I have a few questions.
No, I'm good, bro.
Okay, hip-hop in general, man, because with everything going on, and it's always been going on, like life's been going on, no doubt about it. With everything going on, man, how much of responsibility do you feel as an artist to speak on, like, things people go through on an everyday basis? Because a lot of people don't right now. A lot of it's a lot of partying. There's nothing wrong with that as well. But do you think artists have a responsibility to speak to what's going on in this world right now?
Man, I'm not gonna say responsibility. What I'm gonna say is like opportunity. You feel me? I'm gonna say opportunity more so than responsibility because I can possibly get rich and famous without speaking on like the reality of all of these things that's occurring with our race, with our culture, with our cities, just all over the world. There's crazy stuff going all over the world. Like you said, Donald Trump the president. So, but what can the boys in the hood say about that other than just in their conversations that they have around the barrel or the barbecue grill, like what we got going on right now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all. That's as far as that conversation gonna go. You feel me?
Right.
But that's as far as that conversation gonna go. But as artists, we got the opportunity to actually speak on these things and get these things heard thousands of times. Like get that song that I'm speaking on it heard thousands of times and all of that. And I think that we slip on the opportunity a lot. I think I have also, like, as of recently, like, because over the years, my music kind of, like, has been, like, shifting into, like, club music or, like, super riding music, like, super vibe music. But, I think that it's more of an opportunity and responsibility, man, because, all these great people, man, they done spoke on things that was going on in the times that they was speaking on them, you know what I mean? So I think it kind of is like a way to kind of mark the times and etch yourself down in history when you speak on history,
That's true. Now, let me ask you another question, man. As an artist, I know you drop a lot of bars online, like a lot of, raps, like as they call it, like, as somebody who has bars, man, in a genre where, to some extent, especially like the younger generation, is getting away from bars. I know you kind of bridge the gap between,
like
traditional rap and new rap. How hard is that to bridge the gap? Is that something that you have to consciously do, or does it just come natural to you to kind of like blend everything together?
The thing is, I could go in the booth and like a New York beat and like spaz out, man, like because it took me back to them times when they was doing it, like when it was all about lyrics and delivery and like what you gonna say, like as far as like it was more about utilizing the actual English literature, the technique of it versus how it is now. It's like all about the feel. It's just about, it don't matter what you're rapping about, what you're singing about, talking about. The people just need to feel like you believe in it more than they believe in anything. Like, you know what I mean? So when I go in the studio and just naturally rap about like what's on my heart the most and all of that type of stuff, what's on like what's kind of like influencing me at the time, I kind of naturally go into like a trendy flow because I'm still young too, and like the music that I listen to now is like that super trendy. It ain't about the bars. It's like more about the message. And all of my peers and stuff listen to that. I got kids, young kids, man. They listen to it. So I'm actually like as in love with the new sound as I was with the old sound. So my actual sound comes from actually loving both of them, not like consciously trying to make something that sound new or consciously trying to make something that remind like people of real hip hop. It's just my love for real hip hop and my love for like the new hip hop. Like I'm not gonna say real hip hop because the new stuff is real too, but it's like the traditional hip hop to the modern hip hop. Like I got an equal love and respect for all of the artists and the music that was made in both generations, and I came up at the back end of traditional hip hop and at the front end of the modern. So sometimes it just happens like that. Like I studied Jay-Z at the same time that I studied Juvenile before I studied Jay-Z. Yeah. So Juvenile was like a pioneer for this whole little wave that we hearing right now. Like, just think about Juvenile biggest songs was like super repetitive songs, like, that's you and that big body being, that's you that can't get it. You know what I'm saying? So that was like new. That wasn't traditional hip hop back then. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the first sight of what we got going on right now. So I think it was always the balance that I had came from my love for like super lyrical music all the way down to super melodic music. So I had a DMX album and I had a Ja Rule album, or I have a Scarface album and an Outkast album, or I have a Tevin Campbell album. You know what I mean? So like I just had like a great balance, and that comes from like people like y'all actually making music, and Capital Q like being so influential on me. Like he actually conditioned me to be the artist that I am. Like he made me listen to everything. You know what I mean? And so my brother said he was more like a BG fan, Soulja Slim fan, Lil Boosie fan, like rappers who was rapping about like
the beast too.
Yeah, he cold.
Man.
But he was like that type of fan because he was like that type of person in real life. Like a hard street guy. Like I was dropping albums, he'll be in jail. Like y'all might be on tour, he might be doing a prison bid. So that was more relatable to him. But then for Q, Eminem and Lil Wayne and different rappers like that, Scarface and stuff was more relatable to him because these people who like made their name or like made their way off being an artist and like, you know what I mean? And like kind of transcend with the music they were making. So I just had good balance, man, and it still show today. Like when I go in the studio with these young kids, man, like, and I just say young kids, I'm still in my 20s, man, but I just say young kids getting younger and younger. They 16, 17 now, but I go.
But that's unique. That's unique though, man. That's unique when I think you the only artist. Like, I mean, I'm not saying this in no way. To diss nobody, but I think you the only artist kind of like that that I know of that kind of bridges that together. You know what I'm saying? That's dope as hell, man.
I think that is what makes me actually like a standout artist in Jackson, because everybody in Jackson kind of they sound and they stick to it. They got their lane and they stick to it. They got they certain people that they influenced by, and you can kind of tell in their songs like repetitively. But with me, when you get ready to play like a new Vegas song, you never know what it's about to sound like. You don't know if it's going to be like a trap beat, if it's going to be like super up-tempo, if it's going to be like a super deep track or whatever like that. Like, I want my catalog to sound like one long, good album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every time that I hit the one song, I try to hit them with new feels and new perspectives and all that type of stuff. But even when I do touch on the same stuff, I just try to touch on it in like a newer way as far as my delivery, the pocket that I'm rapping in, the tempo I'm rapping on, and all of that. I actually go with the flow of the industry when it comes down to my cadence and when it come down to my beat selection and all that, like, because that's the only way that I could get stuck in the past is if I don't wake up to the new beats or wake up to the new tempo that they rapping on and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, right, but I still like mix it with my earlier influences.
Right, and I think that's dope how you bring it together, because you, like I say, you've been dropping the freestyles online, and it's kind of give them that, you know, that bars and show them the respect for the craft and everything. But and then, you know, you give them that on your music too. But I also, like you say, you kind of can do like the, you know, the new flows and everything too, you know. So that's really dope, man. I'm looking forward to what the future holds, man, with that, bro. One thing I'm gonna say, bro, and I definitely like I say, this the very first episode, man, and I'm gonna try to if possible, man, have you back on here real soon, man, because I'm trying to just get a conversation going. And, you know, like I say, it was really important. Like, I feel like the universe told me, man, Vegas, man. Like, you were the first person that popped in my head, man, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, you know, yeah, man. And I say this, bro, two things I got from this conversation, big, and I probably call it unity and bridging the gap, because, man, one thing that I think is so dope, and I'm not just saying this, and I think this is a takeaway for people, is you're an artist that, you know, is getting a lot of attention, you know, and everything like that. You know you dope. And you saying, man, we need unity, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's that take a lot of humility, man. And I just, for the people that listening to this today, listening when it's released, I just want them, man, if don't take nothing else away from that, man, is that, you know, like, you know, I feel like you really living your purpose, and I feel like you got the great opportunity to, you know, bridge a lot of gaps, man. Because like you said, man, earlier you said some artists, man, like you kind of broke it down with the more lyrical artists in the city, some of the more, you know, street artists in the city, and like you really in all those groups, you know what I'm saying? Not to say anybody can just be all the way categorized. I'm not trying to categorize people, because I'm sure everybody has different sides to them. But I know you know what I'm saying? And I know that you have those in you, and you're going to be able to bring a lot of people together. So, you know, I hope, you know, the people that do hear this interview from the city even, you know, go back and kind of listen to what you had, you know, the music you've already released, and then be looking forward to what you got coming, you know, knowing that, you know, they dealing with a guy with who walks with a purpose. You feel me? So I think that's a beautiful thing, man.
Definitely. Like, I've been sitting back for a couple of years, like waiting on somebody to assume themselves as the like leader. And we done had like a couple people like get super successful in this shit, in the music game, but they haven't kind of assumed like position of leader of Jackson, like when it comes down to the music thing. And I think some of the people who have just happen to be like some people that people don't agree with. So I'm just blessed to actually get in a position to assume the role of leader or call myself a leader around here, and the people like agree. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot of people who probably are attempted to do what I'm attempting to do.
Oh man, well we speaking it all in existence. It's already going down, but man, like, you know, man, I'm just wishing you all the blessings, bro, because I know you see the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying, and it's unselfish, you know what I'm saying. That's what it's all about. So, you know what I'm saying, we speaking in existence, man. The world gonna hear it, bro. You know what I'm saying, and I'm just happy to be able to talk to you at this time, you know, in the career, you know what I'm saying, knowing where you know, the DNA you come from, and, you know, the respect you got for the game, dog. So, you know, I really, like I say, once again, want to appreciate you for, you know, taking the time to talk today, bro. And we're going to blast this out and, you know, let the world hear it, man. Before I let you go, bro, because I know I kept you a long time and I can talk all day, Can you give where can everybody get if there was one site that you would want people to go to get information on Vegas, where can they go?
I got the website that I'm about to reel back up, and the actual website is called valleystreetablockway.com. So
okay,
that's gonna be probably like the best hub for going and finding out everything that I got going on and kind of getting all my music and videos and all that. But as for now, I would say like just follow me on all social media, DONO_Vegas. That's on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. YouTube, DONO Vegas. I got a channel on there with a couple videos. We're gonna be uploading more like next month. And just keep in contact with me. Like I talk back. If you're an artist or you're a fan, and you got you want to reach out, give any type of feedback, whatever, man, just hit me up. I'm easily approachable. I talk back. I'm doing shows. I got a lot of shows and stuff coming up. Matter of fact, I got 2 shows in the same night, March 16th. One at Lucky Town Brewery, which is like a brewery in Midtown, Jackson, close to Millsap, and then another one at this new club called Lucky's. So that's both in the same night. So yeah, man, just follow me on social media. Look me up on SoundCloud, Spin Realer, DONO Vegas. I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal. Got like all my singles and albums up there, man. So whatever way, I got merchandise and everything. So man, whatever way that they want to support or that they can support, man, I want it, man. I need it.
Yeah, hey, that's something we didn't talk about, man. But yeah, you got the whole movement. I see too, man. DONO, man. I see a lot of y'all got the movement going, man. So yeah, people definitely need to get in tune with that and get on that get on that wave. I know y'all got some dope merch out there. So
yeah, we got a lot
man.
of shirts, hats, jackets, coats. I'm about to start. When the summer come back in, I'm gonna try to have like some little high end type like t-shirt dresses type for the ladies and all that type of stuff. We're going to get into some embroidery this summer and all of that. And I actually got an actual clothing line coming out called Think Rich. So that's the actual clothing line that I'm launching. Probably this summer I'm going to launch it. But it's a clothing line called Think Rich, man. And I think it go good with my overall messages I be having in my songs, man. So I'm trying to max it out, man.
You gonna do it, man. Well, look, man, it was great talking to you, bro, and hope to have many more conversations with you, man. I appreciate your time today, fam.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, bro. All right, man, appreciate it, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank y'all.
Once again, I want to say big thanks to Vegas for coming on the show and talking to me. I want to give another big shout-out to Vigilantes Radio because we're doing big things with this. They already have the platform and to allow me to get on here and run my mouth, which I love to do. I appreciate it. And we're going to, over time, I know I'll get my rhythm and get it going like I need to be going. And, I know it's going to be some great conversations had on this podcast, so I appreciate them. Final thought is for today, I just wanted to say to everybody, I do think, especially like in the United States and everything, we got a lot going on, a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, you know what I'm saying? And, I think when you look at it, a lot of it is ego, This is a country which is beautiful in some ways because you can become anything you need to become. But at the same time, sometimes I think we put so much expectation into like the outer world or what the world feels about us or trying to figure out, hey, what makes us special, not realizing that we're enough as we are, without all the, the approval of others or, the material things and stuff, which is material things are great, but you can't place your happiness in the hands of all these things, and that's ego, And, nowadays, I just, as an exercise, I'm not perfect, but I just try to, remove ego from my intentions and my decisions. Like, rather than decide, okay, if I do this, is it going to help me? I just give it freely, give whatever I have to give the love I have to give, and give, my time or whatever it is without expectation. And I have no disappointments like that, And then it also brought me closer to my passions, and the things that I want to do. It's cut so much stress by just removing a lot of ego. Even when we argue with people sometimes it's just good to just walk away, like, rather than worry about what they think that I'm weak, or they think this or that, or they think, whatever, or they got me messed up, or, even like, oh, I'd rather, not even have opportunities than this person give me an opportunity. That's ego, you know what I'm saying? Because none of that really matters at the end of the day. It's all about you being able to advance and do what you need to do. Of course, you don't want to sacrifice your dignity and the things you believe in, the principles, but a lot of times our pride and our ego get in our way of so many, great opportunities to just have peace within. And, that's just something that I wanted to share, not as a preacher, like I'm preaching or anything, but just something that helps me. And I've been thinking about it for a while now, and I wanted to share some of these things if I had the platform. So once again, I appreciate everybody. We'll be back really soon. We just wanted to throw this one out here so people can kind of get a taste of what we're trying to do. And we're going to have some real deep discussions. I got like life coaches coming up. I got a holistic doctor. I got a lady that recovered her son from the symptoms of autism, because I have a son that's autistic, so that's very important to me. I have an artist, a painter, who's going to kind of tell about what she's passionate about when it comes to art. I got a lawyer that's an entertainment attorney coming. Just a lot of dope stuff that'll be really interesting. And I think sometimes I have, I've been told that, I kind of think my take is going to be different than the next person's, So I thank y'all once again. You're listening right now with GStampz. Much love.